awkward with my boyfriend being there and all.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, and I don't want to go alone.
So you want me to go?
Bingo, Emily.
Wow, seriously?
Yeah, you down? I wanted to make it up to you for last weekend. It's at a mansion. We got to wear a costume.
Wow, like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, but we're hotter.
Amber, I am loving your new accent.
I'm just having fun. Honestly, I'm so glad that you joined our sorority, Emily.
I'm so glad you let me join.
No problem. I saw huge potential.
Thanks.
Speaking about huge, I saw you in a class in a new bra.
Oh.
Girl, they will look massive.
Oh my god, this is the first time I've worn a push-up bra. If my parents ever found out, they would kill me.
Oh, that's so sad. Your parents are so strict, even though you're 19 now.
I know, they're so annoying.
I noticed James checking you out.
Oh, yeah.
So, are you gonna tell me what you guys spoke about after class?
He asked me out.
Whoa! After 5 months? Finally! What is the push-up?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. Wow, what did he say?
He started off by saying, "Oh, you look so different today."
Boys are such pigs.
I know, I just noticed, but he seems sweet.
So, when is your date?
This weekend, Saturday.
Ah! You should flake on him.
What?
Yeah.
No way.
Do you think that will work? Guys love it when you flake on them.
But what if he loses?
Then he's not worth it. Anyways, I have something more fun to do for us on this weekend.
What's that?
Scott's older cousin is coming into town and he wants to hang out with us.
Wow, how old is he?
54.
Wow, that's almost like my dad's age.
Well, this is what you need, a real man.
Dad!
Oh, hey, sweetie. I was bringing you and Amber some cookies. I had an accident. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Dad.
Okay. Thanks, sweetie.
You're welcome.
Hey, sweetie.
Hey, Dad.
New shorts?
Oh, yeah, Amber let me borrow them.
Oh, Amber.
Why, Dad?
Didn't we talk about this when you were younger?
I know, Dad, but I want to fit in. She's like my first cool friend ever.
Cool. That's it. You keep pushing and pushing to get older. You know, you will get older in due time, when the time is right. This Amber, she seems to have different beliefs than we do.
She's a good girl. She gets good grades. She doesn't do any drugs. Like, come on, why do you hate on all of my friends?
I don't hate on all your friends, you know, but since you've been spending time with Amber, you've been going through a lot of changes, and a lot of changes very quickly. Now, I've always told you that boys, they appreciate a girl with a good personality. You could leave a little more to the imagination.
Okay, Dad, things have changed these days. I saw younger photos of you and Mom, and she dressed so revealing.
Come on, we've talked about that. That was just a phase that she was going through.
Well, I want to have fun with this face.
Wait. Okay, all right, I'll change the subject, okay? What are you doing this weekend?
Might go on a date with this boy from class.
Oh. So you are going out with him.
What? You know?
No, I mean you do have a date. That's what I meant. And thank you for letting me know. I'm surprised you told me.
Yeah, I don't want to make things up, but it's not confirmed.
Okay, sweetie. Well, thanks for keeping me in the loop.
Size is disgusting. Just almost there told me I was too fat. That was last week. Now you look like a skeleton.
I've only lost 2 pounds in the last week, and that is.
Hey, sweetie. Nice top. You all ready for your big date?
Oh, yeah, I'm not going.
Not going, huh? How come?
Well, Amber's not answering her phone.
Amber? What's Amber got to do with it? I thought you were going out with a boy from school.
Oh, well, I am. We're just gonna go on a double date.
Look, you don't need Amber. Just go out with this boy.
I don't know, Dad. I think I'm just gonna chill at home.
Oh, movie date with Pops, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, stranger. Come on, are you mad at me? Come on.
Well, you made me flake on James, and then you flaked on me.
This dude's cousin just came out, and I guess by double dose he just wanted to hang out with us.
Well, you should have told me.
I'm sorry, Emily. I'm not your boyfriend. Relax. I thought you'd understand.
Okay. Sorry, Amber.
Look, I'll make it up to you. I just have to run to my class right now, but I will tell you later about it.
So, what I wanted to tell you about today, well, first, what do you think about
Or
What?
Would you ever be into this type of stuff?
Oh my God, no way, Amber. I've never even been with a guy one-on-one.
You haven't?
Well, no. I've been kind of wanting to save myself.
Oh wow, that's really sweet and stupid.
What do you mean?
Look, my aunt and my own mother said enjoy it now. Because Mr. Perfect out there is out there babying his thing around to everyone that passes by.
Oh my God.
Seriously, whether your number is 1 or 200, you think he's going to know the difference or care?
I would think so.
Girl, no. You can tell them 1 or 2, it doesn't matter.
Wow.
Here's the thing. Scott's cousin, the 50 years old dude, he invited us to something interesting at his mansion in Pacific Palisades.
Wow, he has a mansion?
Yeah, he's some rich YouTuber. Anyways, this wasn't a normal kind of party.
What was it?
It's an orgy.
Oh my God. So you went?
No, but,
But what?
well, I didn't want to go with Scott, so I made some excuse with my weak nonsense, but he's been messaging me on Instagram all week.
Scott?
No, Scott's cousin.
Oh.
And I want to go, but I don't want to go with Scott. Only because it's a bit kind of awkward with my boyfriend being there and all.
Oh, I get it.
Yeah, and I don't want to go alone.
So you want me to go?
Bingo, Emily.
Wow. Seriously?
Yeah, you down? I wanted to make it up to you for last weekend. It's at a mansion. We got to wear a costume.
Wow, like Eyes Wide Shut.
Yeah, but we're hotter.
But do I have to do something?
That's on you. I'm not sure how it all works.
Okay. I'm down. Okay, I'll call you back. Dad, what the heck?
Hey, sweetie. I'm sorry.
Are you spying on me?
No, I'm not spying. I'm just... Well, yes. As a matter of fact, I heard it all. And you are not going to an orgy, young lady.
Oh my God. Dad, you are way too controlling. And now you're spying on me? I said I wasn't gonna move into a dorm if I had my space. I'm moving out.
Go to a dorm? You can't move out. You don't have any of your own money and your own space. I'm not going to give you enough space to go in an orgy ever. Never. You are not going to an orgy. These are not the values your mother and I raised you with. You're not going to an orgy.
I don't want to talk, Dad. Are you forcing yourself inside?
Oh, jeez. Oh.
Hey man, what's going on?
Are you Simpson?
Yeah, that's me. How can I help you?
I'm Emily's dad.
Sorry, who? I don't have my glasses on right now. From church?
Church? You go to church? Well, I'm even more surprised that you don't know who your daughter's best friend is, Emily.
Amber? She has a best friend? Dude!
Yeah, your daughter Amber and my daughter Emily are very close. Yeah, I'm surprised you don't know that. You don't know what your daughter Amber's up to, right?
Wow, hey, that's great to hear. How's she doing?
Okay, well, she's doing great in some people's eyes, but I have a little problem with her.
What is it?
She's been kind of a bad influence on my Emily, and I'd like you to discipline her.
What's the problem?
Well, she dresses very revealing.
Well, I'm sorry, sir. I don't seem to have those problems with Amber.
Mr. Smithers? What are you doing here?
I came to have a private conversation with your father.
Okay.
Hey, sweetie.
Dad, don't stand in my way.
God, I love her. What seems to be the problem?
That. Look at that, right there. Look at that.
What do you mean?
Well, look at her. Her body is hanging out of her clothing. Her womanhood, right there.
Oh, yeah, she gets that from her mama.
Oh, okay, so I see what the problem is then.
Hey, man, you need to chill. You can't restrict your...
Welcome to Shadowed Desires, where we explore the most forbidden and intense human emotions. If you enjoy gripping, emotional, and deeply personal stories like this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us bring more incredible stories to light. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an update. Let's dive into today's story. That night was the most intense yet unforgettable night of my life. It was a calm Thursday when it all began. I lay on my back, gazing at the faint patterns of moonlight casting soft shapes on the ceiling, my thoughts scattered and restless. I felt a deep loneliness creeping in. My husband, Thomas, had been away on an extended business trip and wouldn't return for another 2 months. It had already been 3 weeks since I last saw him. The stillness of the night was broken by the soft creak of the bedroom door, and I suddenly realized I wasn't alone. Sitting up slightly, I squinted at the faint figure standing in the doorway. My 19-year-old son, Ethan, was there, his broad shoulders silhouetted against the dim glow from the hallway. He paused, gripping the doorframe tightly, as though anchoring himself. "Mom," he said softly, his voice tinged with uncertainty. I rubbed my eyes, my chest tightening at the sound of his voice. "Ethan, what's wrong?" I asked, concern lacing my words. He didn't answer immediately. Instead, he stood frozen, his shadow stretching across the room, the weight of his presence heavy in the air. Finally, he stepped inside, his bare feet making muted thuds against the carpet. There was a hesitation in the way he moved, cautious, almost wary, that made the atmosphere in the room feel even more charged. "I couldn't sleep," he murmured, his voice barely above a whisper. I glanced over at the clock on my nightstand, 2:14 a.m. Ethan wasn't one to disturb me unless something serious was on his mind. My chest tightened further as I swung my legs over the edge of the bed and motioned for him to come closer. "What's going on?" I asked softly. He hesitated again before finally sitting down on the edge of the bed. His posture was rigid, his hands tightly clasped in his lap, as though bracing himself for whatever he was about to say. I watched him waiting, but his gaze remained fixed on the carpeted floor, the tension radiating from him almost palpable. "Ethan, you can talk to me," I said softly. "Whatever it is, I'm here." He exhaled a shaky breath, his fingers nervously tugging at the hem of his t-shirt. It's hard to explain," he said at last. "I've been feeling something different, and I don't know what to do about it." His words sent a ripple of unease through me. Leaning forward slightly, I tried to keep my voice steady despite the knot tightening in my stomach. "Different how?" I asked. That's when he looked at me, his eyes locking onto mine with an intensity I wasn't prepared for. "It's about someone," he admitted, his voice quiet but charged. "Someone I've been thinking about a lot. Someone you wouldn't expect." Relief briefly washed over me as I assumed this might be about a girl, a crush at school, perhaps, that he didn't know how to navigate. Ethan had always been shy about his feelings, keeping them bottled up until they reached a boiling point. "Okay," I said, offering a reassuring smile. "Who is it? Someone from school?" He shook his head quickly, his gaze dropping again. "No," he murmured, his voice barely audible. "It's not someone from school." "Then who?" I pressed gently, though a strange sense of unease was beginning to creep into my chest. "Ethan, you can tell me. Whatever it is, we'll figure it out." He took a deep breath, his chest rising and falling heavily, as though he were summoning every bit of courage he had. When he finally spoke again, his voice trembled. "It's you, Mom," he said, the words hanging heavy in the air. "It's always been you." His confession hit me like a tidal wave, knocking the air from my lungs. For a moment I couldn't speak, couldn't think. My mind raced to process what he had just said, but the sheer weight of his words left me stunned. "Ethan," I managed, my voice faltering. What are you saying?" He stood abruptly, pacing the room like a restless animal, his hands tugging at his hair as though trying to pull the words from his mind. "I know how it sounds," Ethan said quickly. "I know it's wrong, but I can't help it. I've tried, God. I've tried for so long to push it away, to ignore it, but it's always there." I stared at him, my heart pounding so loudly that his words seemed distant. "Ethan, this isn't, don't tell me it's not real," he interrupted, his voice breaking. "You know what I feel. I've never felt this way about anyone else. It's not admiration or some stupid crush. It's something way deeper, Mom." "Ethan," I said again, my voice trembling. "You're my son. What you're feeling, it's not love. It's something else. Something—" "It is love," he shouted, his voice raw with emotion. "You're everything to me, Mom. You're the only one who's ever understood me, the only one who's ever made me feel like I'm worth something. How can that not be love?" Tears stung my eyes as I struggled to process his words. My son, my sweet boy, who I had raised and loved unconditionally, was pouring out emotions I couldn't comprehend, feelings I couldn't reciprocate, and yet deep within me there was a spark of something I didn't want to acknowledge. I swallowed hard, forcing myself to speak. "Ethan, you're confused. You're going through a lot right now, and maybe these feelings—" "I'm not confused," he said, turning to face me. His eyes were glassy with unshed tears, his jaw set with a determination that made my chest ache. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. For a moment I hesitated. I could see it the way he looked at me, the way his feelings for me went beyond what they should, and though I didn't want to admit it, a part of me felt drawn to it. But I was his mother, and I knew I had a responsibility to ignore what I was feeling, no matter how complicated it was. I reached out, placing a hand on his arm. "Ethan," I said gently, "these feelings, they'll pass. I promise you, they'll pass. And when they do, you'll see things more clearly." "What if they don't?" he whispered, his voice breaking. "What if this is who I am? What if this is how I'm supposed to feel?" My throat tightened, and for a moment I couldn't find the words to answer. I couldn't speak. I didn't have the answers Ethan was searching for, didn't know how to ease the pain that was so evident in his eyes. All I could do was hold on to the hope that time would bring clarity, that this moment wouldn't define us. "You're not alone in this," I said finally, my voice trembling but resolute. "We'll get through it, Ethan, together." He looked at me for a long moment, his eyes filled with a vulnerability that made my heart ache. "I don't want to lose you, Mom," he said softly. "I can't lose you." "You won't," I said firmly, squeezing his arm. "No matter what, I'll always be here for you." I paused, then added, "You know what? Why don't you stay with me tonight? Maybe it'll help." I shifted under the covers, making room for him. He nodded hesitantly and stepped into the bed. As he lay down, I instinctively wrapped an arm around him, pulling him close. In that moment, I felt something I didn't dare acknowledge aloud. Instead, I simply said, "Good night, sweetie." He smiled faintly, and the silence that followed was heavy, but not unbearable. It was a silence filled with unspoken promises, fragile, yet sincere. As he closed his eyes, I felt a glimmer of hope that we could weather this storm, no matter how impossible it seemed. But deep down, I knew this was only the beginning. I was right. A night like this would come again, one that would unfold in a completely different way. This night, nothing happened, but I knew more was on the horizon. Love, especially a love as complicated as this, doesn't simply fade. Quietly, it demanded to be reckoned with, and I had no idea what that reckoning would look like. The morning after Ethan's confession felt surreal. The usual quiet of the house, which once brought comfort, now pressed down on me like a suffocating weight. Every corner, every familiar object seemed to hum with the unspoken tension between us. I busied myself with chores, hoping that the routine would help ground me. But my hands trembled as I folded laundry, and my mind raced with questions I couldn't answer. What did this mean for us? For him? For me? The sudden clatter of a chair in the kitchen jolted me from my thoughts. Ethan was sitting at the table, staring into a bowl of cereal as untouched as the coffee sitting cold on the counter. His hair was disheveled, and dark circles shadowed his eyes. He hadn't slept, and neither had I. "Morning," I said cautiously, breaking the heavy silence. He looked up, his expression unreadable. "Morning," he replied, his voice hoarse. I poured myself a fresh cup of coffee, the sound of the liquid hitting the mug louder than it should have been. Sitting across from him, the distance between us felt both too far and too close. For a long moment, neither of us spoke, the air thick with everything unsaid. Finally, I broke the silence. "Ethan, about last night." "I meant what I said," he interrupted, his voice steady despite the turmoil in his eyes. "I'm not going to pretend I didn't." I closed my eyes briefly, willing myself to stay calm. "I know you're being honest," I said softly. "But Ethan, what you're feeling, it's not something we can act on. It's not something we should act on." He leaned back in his chair, his hands gripping the edge of the table tightly. "Why not?" he asked, his voice tinged with frustration. "Why does love have to fit into rules and boundaries? Isn't love supposed to be free?" I took a deep breath, searching for the right words, knowing that none would truly satisfy either of us. The right words. "Love isn't just about what we feel, Ethan," I said softly. "It's about what's right, what's good for everyone involved. And what you're saying, it could hurt us both." He looked away, his jaw tightening. "I don't want to hurt you," he said quietly. "That's the last thing I want." "I know," I said, reaching across the table to place a hand over his. "And I don't want to hurt you either. That's why we have to handle this carefully. We need to find a way to move past this." His fingers tightened around mine, and for a moment I saw the boy he used to be, the boy who'd clung to my hand when he was scared, who'd looked to me for guidance and comfort. But this was different. The way he looked at me now was different. I don't know if I can move past it, he admitted, his voice barely above a whisper, but I'll try. For you. Tears welled in my eyes as I gave his hand a gentle squeeze. That's all I ask. The days that followed were a blur of awkward conversations and forced normalcy. Ethan tried to keep his distance, retreating to his room or spending long hours out of the house. I told myself it was for the best that the space would help him sort through his feelings. But I missed him. I missed the easy rapport we'd shared before everything had changed. Even though he tried to avoid me during the day, we still shared the same bed at night. Yet, despite the closeness, I felt a growing distance between us. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, I heard the front door open and close. Ethan stepped into the kitchen, his hair damp from the rain. He looked at me for a long moment, as if debating whether to say something. "Hey," I said, trying to keep my tone light. "You're just in time, dinner's almost ready." He didn't respond right away. Instead, he walked over to the counter and leaned against it, his arms crossed. "I've been thinking," Ethan said finally. I turned off the stove and faced him, my heart pounding. "About what?" "About us," he said, his gaze steady. "About what I said that night." I swallowed hard, bracing myself. I knew exactly what night he meant. "Ethan, I thought we agreed." "I know," he interrupted,